Hi, everyone. My name is Inaudy Esposito. I use the pronouns she, her, and ella, and I am the Executive Director of the Orange County Human Rights Commission. So I wouldn't say it's what supported, it would be who supported. There is a long line of women, especially, who helped me get to where I am today, who continue to support me, to mentor, to serve as examples. You know, there are a lot of really strong, fierce women that I look up to in my community that I've grown with. I've been in this community doing social justice work for a little bit over 15 years. And the amount of growth and learning that I have yet to come, but also that I've done thanks to learning from so many different people. That's who I'm thankful for. You know, obviously things like people like my mother, her strength, her perseverance, her resilience is something that I've held on to for as long as I've lived and as long as I can remember. And then, of course, I couldn't do the work that I do in this community, in my family, in my life, without the support of my family, especially my husband, who holds down the fort when I'm not home, who is, helping me raise two incredible children. So it's the people. It's the people that I surround myself with that have really, truly helped me get to where I am. I can think of a few moments that were learning opportunities for me. Early on in my social justice career, I remember advocating for, I used to be the sexual assault nurse examiner program coordinator for the Mental Health Association here in Orange County. That was my first social justice work where I was advocating on behalf of sexual assault survivors. And I remember being really young and really passionate about my role as an advocate. And I was in the hospital room one time with a survivor, and she was getting her examination, her forensic examination done. And a few things, we had already been there for 5 or 6 hours waiting, and a few things just weren't going right. And the doctor that was doing the exam wasn't very happy to be there. It was the middle of the night. She didn't want to do this. She wasn't happy about it at all and was making it really clear. So here I am trying to advocate on behalf of my client, support her as well, because this was a really, truly traumatizing experience right after her trauma. And something transpired where it just wasn't acceptable to me. And I called her out on it, the doctor, right then and there. And that led to a slew of things and consequences where I was banned from the emergency department for 2 months, and I had to make phone calls, send emails, apologize, and it was a learning opportunity for me because someone helped me through it, someone who mentored me through that process. She said to me, "You were right. The entire time you were right, but that person had the power, and she took advantage of that power and is now prohibiting you and using her power over you, and not allowing you to do your job." And it was in that lesson that I learned that sometimes even doing the right thing has consequences. And we have to figure out how to be diplomatic about things, how to have a win without necessarily going about it on our own way, how to compromise. And I had to suck it up and apologize, even though I knew I was right and everybody around me knew I was right. And I thought I did the right thing and I did do the right thing, but I could have done better. And I wasn't thinking big picture. And I have to say that that was honestly, thinking back at the beginning of, again, my career, one of the biggest learning moments for me on, do I want to do this? Do I want to advocate for victims and people without a voice? Sometimes at the cost of my own conviction, sometimes at the cost of my own beliefs and the way I would do things, as long as I help someone. And the answer for me was yes. And the answer for me was I was okay with making some sacrifices. And I've carried that since the entire time. For over 10 years, I worked directly with victims. I had the honor of working for the agency that's now called Fearless, used to be known as Safe Homes, and I worked with clients, and I was supervising the advocates and the counselors and the folks that worked with clients. And I thought that was it for me. I thought, because I loved it, I had a passion for helping others grow and helping others help others. Never did I think I would be in a role where there was a bigger impact to policy changes, to guidance around agencies and groups and administrations. And I never really envisioned myself in a role where the influence was at a different level. And I'm really proud of that. I'm really proud to be able to be in circles and groups where it is not just about impacting one life, but it's more about the bigger picture and affecting change systemically. So I'm really proud of representing, as the only woman of color department head in our local government. I'm really glad to be able to and proud to represent our community, but push for change in a way where it's effective and sustainable, not just tokenism, not just short term, but in a way where how do we work together to make sure that there's representation and value to diversity, equity, accessibility, and inclusion. I didn't picture myself here. This wasn't something I had in mind. So it's nice to surprise yourself every once and again. Even if it's just to have a young woman or a young girl see me where I am and say, oh my God, I can be there too. I can do that too. Is really why I do this work, because I want people to know, Latinas, women of color, to know that, yeah, no, we can, and we are. We're doing it.